You got to have tough skin in this game. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. If you want to develop some tough skin, get on Stack Overflow. Trust me, it will help you get tough skin real quick. The questions that I see you there ask and the responses, I'm like, whoo, wow.
Let's be honest. Most people think you either need to go to school or be some sort of super genius to break into IT.
It's probably going to take a super genius to crack it.
But what if I told you that the real secret weapon, the career launching cheat code, is the help desk? In today's episode, you'll meet Scott, a former healthcare supervisor who is actually transitioning into tech as we speak. Not with a computer science degree or bootcamp badges, but with real-world empathy, leadership, and help desk ready skills. We're talking about why the help desk is the ultimate gateway into your career in tech, and how customer service can be your biggest asset, and what it really takes to pivot from burnout to breaking through, even if you're starting from scratch. If you're wondering where to start or feeling stuck in your current role, this might be the story you need to help you push through. Without any further ado, let's roll into this week's episode. Thank you for taking time, Scott, to kind of share your journey so far into the tech industry. Do you mind taking a few minutes and kind of just introducing yourself?
Sure. Scott, I work in the medical field, currently work for a nephrology group, kidney specialist. I've always kind of been like the tech person of the family, just like, a lot of people started out as the family go-to person for phones, setting up the new computers, printers, all that good stuff. I've got a long tenure in the medical field, and I've always somehow found myself engulfed in some form of tech too. And so this thing is kind of prompted me to take a look at myself and say, hey, I'm getting to a point now in my life to where I really want to feel fulfilled. And for a long time, medical fulfilled me. And I'm getting to a point now to where I don't have that same fulfillment or love when I go home. And so I thought, hey, you know what? I've always had a thing for tech. Let's give this a try, man, and see how this second half of my life is going to go, and see if I can get that bug again and make a change and a difference in people's lives in a different way. So I'm coming for the tech field, man.
That was going to be my first thing I asked you. You started in healthcare and now you're moving into tech. What really sparked that interest in technology, recently?
A company that I worked for before, they had got hit with the situation with the hack, and they brought in a cybersecurity expert. And so he came in, did a lot of revamping, looked at a lot of things, saw what was some of the servers and different things we had, and saw some stuff that needed to be updated, some things that could have prevented, said attack. And so I just started asking him a bunch of questions, and he kind of took to me, and he kind of took a liking to me, and was like, you got a lot of interest and you got a lot of good questions. And I kind of told him the same thing, like we just talked about. Me and him would have conversations like after work, and I would just stay and talk with him. And so he really took an interest to me. And so he started taking me along with him on other jobs. And then so I got to learn about patch panels and switches and routers and wireless access points. And then he started teaching me how to make like the R5 or RJ45 jacks and the difference between Series A and Series B. So I started really getting my hands dirty, like outside of work, going to just different job sites with him that he would take me on and show me the ropes. And I just really got the bug. And it was like a different side versus just, setting up the printer for my parents, or, hey, my phone's not working. Can you look at this? And it was like a whole new world that got opened up to me. And it was just like bright eyed bushy tails, like, oh my God, what is this? I love it. I need more of it. And so that's what kind of got me back on the path of looking at tech.
Now, in your current role in the healthcare field, has there been anything that's kind of helped prepare you for this transition you're making into IT?
Oh, yeah. So a lot of customer service. So I'm in a leadership role, supervisory role. And so I do multiple different things in there. And a lot of that is a big part of it's customer service. I deal with a lot of patients who are upset because of one thing or other, whether it be a bill that they got, not understanding why they got charged what they charged, why they were diagnosed the way they were diagnosed, coming from a different doctor, not knowing why they were sent to a specialist, from their primary care. So, I've gotten cussed out before. I've gotten yelled at. I've gotten threatened. I mean, you name it, I've had it happen to me. And being able to sit with the patient and empathize with them and understand the frustration and the anger, and sitting with them and trying to walk them through the process with them, like, okay, hey, look, I get it. I know you're upset. I know you're mad. This is what's going on. This is what information we have. This is why you're being sent to this doctor. This is why your bill was this. And so I found that I've had a pretty good knack for being able to take patients that are really upset and get them to calm down and really talk to them and help them understand why things are being done the way they're being done. And usually they walk away with a better understanding and a lot calmer than what they first came in. So just getting that experience of understanding, where people are coming from, and just trying to do my best to help them. And I know in tech, that's something you deal with a lot. You deal with, people calling in frantic, sporadic, just going crazy, not know what's going on. Why is my computer not working? Why is the screen not working? How come the internet's not working? What's going on?
100.
And just being on level 100, and you got to get them to calm down so you can find out, all right, what's the problem? What's the root problem? What can we do to fix it? So I feel like, my tenure in medical has really helped prepare me to understand how to be a person that has compassion, empathy, and to be able to sit with somebody and really help them work through the issue that they're having.
I say all the time, tech field is very much a customer service oriented position. You have to really be there to help people understand. You're helping people that are not tech savvy. Like in your role, you're helping people currently that aren't familiar with the medical field and the different things that are going on. You got to have that same level of empathy and help for the tech, on the technical side. So, soft skills is huge in the tech field, 100%.
I get that with a lot of the doctors and some of the other staff in different areas, even though the practice that I work in, I've gotten close with a lot of the IT guys that we have, and they're a good bit of ways away from where our IT team dispatches from. And so I've learned a lot of stuff from the guys, there too. And so a lot of times, people see me and they, hey, I know I heard you help such and such with some stuff. So I get pulled a lot, even in my current role, even though it's not like my main job. I know how to do some stuff. So I get pulled a lot to different areas of the building and helping people do different things. So I've learned that, like I said, working with doctors and different nurses and just different things that, all right, even though these people are super smart, in some cases, they know how to turn the computer on, and that's about it. They know how to get to the certain program they know how to get to. Other than that, they don't care to know about it. They don't want to know about it. They just know it's not working, and they want you to get it working again and as soon as possible. So I've learned to kind of deal with that pressure too, of just like taking somebody, like you said, who doesn't really know a lot or even care to know a lot, and be able to just work fast under pressure, get it going, and get them back up and running, and then I'm off to the next thing. So,
One thing you mentioned to me is, you went through a coding boot camp,
mhm.
and found out it just was not a good fit for you.
Right.
What was your biggest challenge with that program?
So I'm more of a kinesthetic learner. I'm a hands-on guy. I like being hands-on, and I did pretty good whenever I would get like into the class around the mentors and other students. But I feel like the program that I went through, it just kind of it left more to the imagination, and even though it was structured, um, I feel like I still could have got more from it, and so I just got a bad taste in my mouth about how that went, and so going through that and then having the transition to the networking side, I feel like with my personality and the way I am more of a people person and more into the networking side. So I feel like networking, hardware, system admin, somewhere around there is more my lane versus just sitting down coding and just sitting all day coding. So I think that was kind of really my thing. Was I just didn't feel like I had that um, impact that I was looking for doing the coding thing, and I feel like I can have a more impact in a different part of tech than just sitting down coding.
Well, many people feel discouraged, especially after having like a bad experience with some learning platform. Um, how did you keep your love for tech alive after that? How did you keep really going?
Just different technologies, learning different things. Like I said, being around different people, uh, watching channels like yours. You're a big inspiration to me. Kev Tech IT, Josh Medicare, like watching you guys, John Hammond, amazing guy, big boss Azure guy. Like watching you guys, man, like just over time, just made me just keep my head in the game a
Absolutely.
little bit and just think, hey, at some point I'm going to make a transition. I know I will. I just don't know when I'm going to. And then when I started helping people here, like I said, I seem to have a knack for getting nowhere where I go, getting cool with IT guys, and somehow I always just end up in the mix of things. And like seeing like the benefit of helping people and seeing what it did to me and how I felt going home at the end of the day of being able to help somebody with a problem, I started feeling that love again, like I felt when I first got into medical. And then I started having people tell me, you really bright light up like when you talk about this stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't think so. I'm just trying to be helpful. I just want to help people. And it's like, yeah, and you do a good job at what you do. Like you can tell you're a caring person. When you start talking about this computer stuff, like you're like a bright light. And so when I started hearing enough people say that, it made me really think, okay, maybe I'm onto something here. Maybe this is something I should really hold on to and like really dig in, because if I'm doing one job and I'm doing good at it and I'm getting praise from it, but I'm having multiple people tell me that I really seem like I'm glowing when I'm talking about tech, it's probably something I should explore a little bit more. So that was kind of my aha moment, my light bulb moment to say, okay, this is something I need to stick with and stay into and dig into a little bit deeper.
I can 100% relate to that because I was told the same thing, at one point in my career when I was first starting out, and kind of reminded of that when I started my YouTube channel. I was being told, like, man, you have a knack for teaching things, you have a knack for breaking things down simple and helping people. And you kind of just, you can tell you do really good at it and you really enjoy it. So that's why I started my YouTube channel. So I can 100% relate to that feeling. Now, what advice would you give to others considering a boot camp? Especially if they're unsure about that style of learning.
Do your research. There's a lot of boot camps out here. Some are better than others. Some are a lot worse than others. Uh, Not just do the research on the boot camp, but reach out to people. Like, you look on LinkedIn, just different places. You can see a lot of people put where they went, on their profiles. Reach out to some of these people. Hey, I'm thinking about getting into coding. Hey, I'm thinking about getting into networking. Hey, I think I want to be a Linux admin. Reach out to some of these people that have some of these certifications. Say, hey, I see you went to this boot camp. What was your experience with it? Don't make the same mistake I did and just jump into something just because you hear it's the hottest thing and it's going to make a whole bunch of money. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah,
I've realized now it's not all about the money. It's great to have money, but it's not everything. And some of the most wealthy people are miserable. So find something that you really feel like you love to do and that you're going to love to do, and it's not going to feel like work, and then you can make money at it.
absolutely.
Because the tech field has got the money in it. It's just you got to find your lane, and the money will come. So that's my thing. If I was to start over again, I would pick the field that I want to be in, find a couple boot camps that I think I want to try, and then start reaching out to students and say, hey, what was your experience? If you had to do all over again, would you do it again? And would you still pick the same boot camp, or would you go somewhere else and do something else? And I think that'll save you a lot of headache and a lot of money.
Well, and it's important to realize, like, everyone learns different. I'm very much a hands-on learner. I like to, like, read
Yep.
something or watch a video how it's done and then, like, go do it. That's just how I learn.
Yep.
So I really, when I was studying and stuff, I really succeeded with, like, the video platforms out there, like the INEs, the CBT nuggets. That's what I used when I was first starting out. Some people are great textbook readers and stuff like that, and some people need the guidance and the hand holding and stuff like that. There's different paths for everyone. Now, you're currently enrolled in Course Careers, which is a company I've talked about several times on the channel before. What made you, like, look into Course Careers and at the end of the day deciding to pull the trigger and go with them?
Basically what I just said. So I had started out with their tech sales platform, thought about going into the tech sales thing because I've done sales before too and did fairly well at it. But like I said, the more I thought about it, I just was like, well, I really feel like I wanted to stay on this technical side of it. So started reaching out to some people, saw a couple of Josh's reviews online. And so I started reaching out to people like, hey, I like him. I watch a lot of his content. I think he's great. I'm really good friends with Antoine Wade over at Elevate to the Unknown platform. And I know he has the cybersecurity course with Josh. And so he told me Josh was a really great guy. And when I started reaching out to people, and I started seeing some of these guys are really getting jobs from this, and started asking about how the program is, what's in it. And then I found out that there's actually labs in there and it's hands on. He lets you get down and dirty. And I was sold. With me being like I said, the kinesthetic learner, the hands on kind of guy, just like you. And I heard that I'm actually going to be doing labs and doing something. I was sold. I didn't hesitate. I went straight to the site, went to IT and smacked the credit card down and went ahead and bought it. That's it for me, man. If I'm actually doing labs,
shut up and take my money.
Right. Take my money.
Shut up and take my money.
I was ready. Once I was going to be doing labs, I was all in, man. So
that's cool. And that's one thing I really look for. Like when I'm looking at a learning platform, I've used so many different learning platforms because every learning platform's different, and I like to see how different platforms handle things. And hands-on labs is like, yeah, for me, it's like, shut up and take my money. I really love when a platform goes the extra mile to include that.
Right.
Now, besides just like the hands-on learning part, like how has your experience with Course Careers differed from like the boot camp you attended? Like, is there anything else in particular that stood out to you?
Night and day. Josh is really, really good at breaking things down. He also is really good about pushing you to go out your comfort zone and try other things. Like at the end of every module, he says, don't just take, my word for it. Go look up, Chat GPT, or go look up videos on this, go to YouTube and, type in this and really, look at about 4 or 5 other videos to see how it compares to the information we're given here. But he's really good about breaking things down, and he talks at a pace where it's not monotone. It's not too slow where it's going to bore you. It's not too fast where you can't grasp it. Like he's found like that sweet spot to like
Nice.
talk to you to where he keeps you engaged and you're learning. And then, like I said, I like the fact that he's not just, oh, I'm the guru, listen to me, do what I tell you to do. It's no, I've been doing this for a while. I know what I'm talking about, but just in case you're unsure, go check out other sources and come back and compare it to what you're learning, and also use it as more information. Don't just go off of what we're teaching here.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that's great, man. You don't get a lot of people to do that.
And that's like some of the best advice. And I learned that firsthand. Like when I very, very first started studying to get into the tech field, I was using a platform called CBT Nuggets. And I'm not hating on them. I'm not saying they're bad. They're great. And I was using it to study for the CompTIA Plus. And it got me 90% of the way there.
Mm-hmm.
But I started using an Professor Messer to study for the CompTIA Plus. And I'm like, wait a minute. He's talking about the stuff that CBT Nuggets didn't even cover. And, so sometimes you got to diversify your learning and double check yourself. And, there's some things that, Professor Messer was talking about that CBT Nuggets wasn't learning. So it's really cool that, the instructor there, Josh, says the exact same things. I know Josh very well. I think we've had him on the channel like 2 different times
Mm-hmm.
now. And I'm sure we got to bring him back here again sometime because he's just packed full of knowledge. But, people, if there's not one solution that's going to take care of all your needs.
Right.
And it's cool that he gives you that advice as part of the program. So I think that's really cool. Not to keep on sounding like this is a sponsored video from Course Careers, because it's not, but what was the most exciting part of your journey with Course Careers so far? Like, what have you gotten the most joy out of?
The camaraderie, man. Course Careers pumps a lot about the community part of it. And not to say I didn't really feel like I got it per se in the tech sales part. It was there, but I feel like I've engaged with a lot more people this time on the IT, side of it. I'm actually seeing the benefits of that, that community. A lot of people that reach out to me on LinkedIn, and it's not just the empty LinkedIn request. Let me get my LinkedIn to 500. Like people are actually like commenting, send me messages, talking to me, asking me different things. So I really feel like I'm getting that family aspect of it. And like I said, just the way Josh teaches, man, like I feel like I'm really doing good as far as like getting the material and understanding it. Uh, Outside of subnetting, it's still kicking my butt. Subnetting, but that's another story for another day. But other than that, man, like I said, I feel like it's a course that really breaks it down for you, no matter what your learning style is. And I feel like
Yeah.
anybody, if you really want to learn it, you can learn it with the way that they have this set up.
And just a reminder for those who are watching and listening, you're currently not working in tech. You're in
Mhm.
the process of getting into the tech field.
Right.
Now, what is your goal? Like, what are you trying to, what's your dream job? Like, I guess, let me rephrase that. What is the first job you're looking to get in the tech field? And then what is like your dream job you're working towards?
So I'm kind of between a few. I like sales engineer because you get kind of that combo of the sales and the technical side of it. I don't know, man. Linux admin is kind of sexy to me. I don't really been doing some deep dive on Linux admin, so like system admin somewhere in there. But I was watching the interview you did with I think it was it Bug Bites or the why people don't want to be a network engineer anymore. And
Oh yeah.
like hearing you talk about it and then thinking about like what I felt when I was helping the cybersecurity specialist at that one job. I don't know, man. Like just the touching the stuff, man. Just kind of like I loved it. Like being involved in it. So like networking engineers not off the table, man. Like I know, like you guys talked about on the show. Like a lot of people don't want to do that anymore, but I'm not above that, man. I'm not above coming in at the ground floor and working my way back up. You know what I mean? To one of those higher levels. Like
Yeah.
let me get in, get dirty. I don't mind running cables. You know what I mean? I'll take my fishing rods and run through the ceiling tiles and do whatever I gotta do, man. Like I'm ready to get down and dirty. So like I said, I've got a few of them, but just listening to you talk, man. Like, and that's becoming a lost art. My father, God rest his soul, when he was around, he was a carpenter, a master carpenter, and so I saw like the trades. Trades are starting to make a comeback now, but a lot of people are getting away from that, man. That's kind of what I felt like is happening with like network engineers. So I'm not above coming in and getting dirty as a network engineer, man, and really building out those towers and getting in there and getting dirty. So
That's so cool. What has been your biggest mindset shift that you've really experienced since you've really started kind of digging in and pursuing this career?
that I don't even know my hat says it. I don't have to be the lone wolf. That there are people who out here who want to help you succeed, and it's genuine. It's not because there's some kind of ulterior motive or there's something for them to gain. Of course, there probably are some out there, but so far, knock on wood, I haven't encountered any of those.
Yeah.
Everybody that I've talked to, man, from you to Josh, I've actually had a chance to talk to him as well. Just nobody has come across as just like rude or out to get you or just like it's a money grab. Like once you talk to somebody and they can see that you truly want to learn,
Yeah.
like this field is amazing, man. Like it's what I felt when I first got into medical. Like there's genuine people out here that want to see you win and they want to see you succeed and they want to help push you and get you to where you want to go. But I will give the caveat: you have to be genuine. People like you, Josh, Kev, Tech. There's a lot. John, like you guys can sniff out BS quickly,
Yes.
and I've seen it. Like if you don't really want it and you're not going to put in the work, they're not going to help you. They'll give you a little bit, but you won't get what you would have got if somebody feels like you're genuinely want to learn and you really want to get into this field because people put a lot of time in this field to get where they're at, and it's not for play. It's not a game. People really put in some hard work, some long hours studying, getting certifications, getting degrees. So if you come in BS and people are going to smell it, they're going to fish it out real quick, and you're not going to get the help you need. But if you're honest and you're genuine about it, like you're going to get everything you need to succeed and get to wherever you want to get to, whether that's a system admin or a CISO. People are going to help you get there,
Right.
but you've got to be genuine and you got to be willing to put in the work.
That's so true, and that's the exact same advice I give to people when they're looking to find a mentor or something like that. Is you have to be genuine. You can't just be like, give me, give me, give me, give me. I want to be in this field because I want to make a lot of money. Gimme, gimme, gimme,
There
gimme,
we
gimme,
go.
gimme, 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 gimme.
Right.
We're gonna smell that out right away. You will find that most people working in tech are more than happy to help, and the career field wasn't always that way. 10 years ago, this was very much a kind of a gatekeepy you know community where like, oh, go read the manual, find out yourself. We all did our time, but it's no longer like that. Most of the people, and I say most because I'm sure there's still a few out there, like you said, are more than willing to help, but you have to truly want it.
Yeah.
I get DMs daily from people asking for advice, asking for mentorship, and most of the time I try to answer the best I can. I feel bad because sometimes I'll write a book. I'll get carried away trying to help people out, but then I get those quick one-liners and like, what certification do I need to get a job in cybersecurity? I'm like, okay, what do you want to do in cybersecurity?
Doesn't work like
Like,
that.
what are you passionate about? Like, and sometimes I'll give them a chance and like I'll try to pry for some more information. But on the same hand, like, you know what? I'm busy. I work a full-time job. I got a family. I run a YouTube channel. Like, if you want advice from me, like, put in the effort. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that is some really solid advice. Now, looking back at your journey so far, because I know you're still in your journey currently, but what is one thing you wish you knew from the beginning, that would have helped you out along this way?
You just said it. Mentor. Getting to a point to where you can cut that learning curve down helps tremendously. That also, you got to have tough skin in this game. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. If you want to develop some tough skin, get on Stack Overflow. Trust me, it will help you get tough skin real quick. The questions that I see you there ask and the responses, I'm like, whoo, wow.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, the mentor thing, man, like, it's just the way things are going and the way technology is advancing so fast. You got to try to cut that learning curve down as much as possible. And so that's something I've been doing. I've been watching, like I said, a lot of different channels, man. I see what you just said, the gyms and that type of stuff. So coming from a different field, it's not in tech and not knowing like what I have per se as my core skills that I can offer to help out, it's something that I'm working on and doing a deep dive in myself to find out what I can bring to the table to help me with that. Because when I do go out here and get mentors, I want to be able to provide, like you said, not just give me, give me, give me. I want to be able to give and take. So learning something that you can do to give to your mentor, so it's not feel like you're just draining them all the time.
absolutely.
But that's like my biggest thing, man, is find out what you're good at, what you can provide to that said mentor, and then provide those services to them. And then that way it's an even exchange with that person, and they don't feel like they're just giving you all of them and they're not getting anything from it. So that's my biggest thing is, man, just find out what you're good at, how you can help other people, and then go out here and find the mentors that can help you cut this time in half.
I'm curious, like, how far along in your journey are you? How long do you have until you feel like you're going to start applying for different job positions?
So I'm at the 70% mark of the course right now. So I'm actually at the part to do the lab. So looking at my Azure stuff today. So when we get off here, I'll be getting on and setting up my Azure account and start working on my OS ticket and then all that good stuff and my virtual box and all that stuff. So excited about that. Actually get to do the hands-on part. That's what I've been waiting on this whole
That's
time.
cool.
So I'm ready to get to that point. But once I kind of get an idea, like I know Josh says, go through it multiple times. So I figured probably once I get, 3 or 4 times of going through setting up my virtual machine, building my ticketing system from scratch, doing some of those things, and I feel comfortable with it. I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and update my resume and make it more tech savvy because right now it's full medical, but make it more tech savvy and then get out here and start applying for things, man. So I can go ahead and get my foot in the door somewhere.
Well, how do you plan on leveraging your medical experience? with your technical experience as you start to move forward?
I plan on using, like I said, the customer service skills, like conveying to hiring managers and recruiters the fact that I understand that this field, this job is not something that's just easy money. I'm gonna kick back, the remote life that everybody's pushing. Online, you just kick back and get hundreds of thousands of dollars. I know it's going to be work, and I'm willing to work. I've done it for a long career in medical, and I'm ready to put that same amount of work into this. I understand that I'm going to be dealing with people who are, some cases irate, pissed off executives, other people, and I'm built for it. Like, it's not going to scare me away.
Yep.
I'm not going to fold under the pressure. I'm used to pressure. I mean, working in medical field, I'm used to having pressure all the time. So
Nice.
that's not something that's going to deter me away. I'm willing to put in the work, use my compassion, my empathy, my sympathy, and be able to sit there with somebody and help get them through what they need to get through, get them back up and running, and make sure that I can provide value to the company.
If you were to talk to someone who was in the position you were, a while ago, where you had lost that excitement on your current role, what advice would you give them about breaking into the tech field?
Do exactly what I did. Find something that sparks your interest, something that's not going to be just a money grab, but something that you genuinely care about, that genuinely interests you, and pursue that. Talk to other people, reach out to people. Don't be scared to reach out to people. This field, like I said, is one of the best fields when it comes to that type of stuff. There's more people that are willing to talk to you than not. So if you can find something that you really are interested in, go on LinkedIn, go on different platforms, even if it's like somebody's Instagram page or somebody's YouTube page. Reach out to these people. They're regular people, just like me and you. They're willing to talk and just find out, hey, what did you do to get here? How did you get here? And you know what I mean? And just kind of, do a coffee chat real quick, just to ask them a few questions. Don't take up a whole bunch of their time because everybody's busy. But if you have your questions ready, and that's another thing, like, have your stuff ready. Don't just go into it trying to wing it.
Yep.
Like, have your stuff prepared. Like, know the questions you want to ask. Get your 3 or 4 questions, 5 questions. Ask those. Get in, get out. That way, they're not wasting their time. You're not wasting their time, and they feel like, okay, this person's ready. They came prepared. I'll give them some gems, because if you come in wasting people's time, you're not going to get anything out of it. So I would do that.
Absolutely. Well, and since you just mentioned LinkedIn and stuff, if people want to ask you questions, or have any questions for you, where can they find you?
Scott Taylor on LinkedIn. You can find me on there. I don't really have anything on, like, Instagram. I might have an Instagram. It's Operation Tech Takeover, which is the same as my YouTube. Which that's something I got to do, is start posting on YouTube, and that's something I want to try to do, is to help kind of cement things. Is take some of that stuff once I get good at it and do it on my YouTube channel. It just has another learning style and motive to retain the information. But yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, man. Come find me on LinkedIn and reach out to me. I'll give you anything I can. But like I said, the caveat is I work a full time. Well, actually, I work 2 full time jobs, and I'm studying, so I don't have time to waste. So
Yeah.
come talk to me. I will give you the game that I've gotten so far, but you got to show me you're serious. I'm not here to play. I've got goals and dreams that I'm trying to reach, and I don't have time to play. So I'm willing to talk to anybody as long as you're willing to show me that you're serious and you want it as bad as I do. Hey, we can be study buddies. We can make it happen.
That's awesome. And we'll make sure and link those links to those platforms down in the description or show notes below. Now, I know you kind of touched on it, but what keeps you going? Like, is it the thought of, landing a job in the tech field, or is it just the excitement about tech? Like, what keeps you going on a daily basis?
Well, I have a goal to. My father was my biggest hero. But he didn't get really far in life. Like I said, he was a carpenter. He had minimum education. He was a hard worker. He taught me and my brother and my sisters, like, work ethic. So, like, I saw that man get up every day with strokes, heart attacks, being partially paralyzed, and, like, just grinding to make sure that his family was taken care of. And so I feel like I have a big responsibility with my last name, trying to live up to that man. And he was a martyr in the community. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to be something that, you know, he can look down on me from the heavens and smile at. And still have my mother here, thank goodness. She's a little, up in age, but I want to get to a point to where I feel like they truly know that I'm going to be okay, and that they raised a son that is really out here making a difference in the world. That was why I got into medical, and I feel like things have kind of shifted in the medical field. I don't feel like it's as much push for the people, and that's like my goal now, is to get into a company now and truly make a difference in people's lives, just in a different manner, instead of critical essential worker, but now as something else, whether it be like you said, cybersecurity or whatever I end up in. But I want to get to a point to where I'm making that same kind of impact, and that my family, my parents can look down on me and say, we raised him right, and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's making a mark in the world. So I got a big shoes to fill, man. Like my father, and that's my pushing point now, is just to get to a point to where I can do that our last name proud, and I can really make a difference in people's lives, and really know that at the end of the day, when I go home, that I did something that really is making a difference in this world.
That's really cool. And I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing that story with us. I think I hope that whoever's listening to this, if you made it this far, you found some value here, to keep going, to keep studying. If you have, let me know in the comments below, because I always love hearing your guys' feedback. But I have the strict belief with this podcast, if the story that I'm helping share can help one person, it's 100% worth it all the time. So thank you again, Scott, for just sharing such an inspirational story, sharing your viewpoint on the industry, and I really appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for making the channel. Like I said, it's guys like you all that kind of really help push me to pursue this and really stay on it. So I'm appreciative of even having the chance, man, to even be on the show, and hoping the same thing, that my story can inspire somebody to make a change. If they've been thinking about making a change, go for it. There's no time like now. But thank you for doing this channel, man. It's an inspiration to a lot of people.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you again for tuning in. And until next time, keep learning.